Here I'm painting a sphere using just black and white acrylic. The light is coming from the left, so we'll get a form shadow on the sphere and a cast shadow moving across the flat plane. I work large to small, blocking the main shapes first, then turning the form with value. I already have a middle value mixed on the palette. This grey value is the same that I've used for the background. Into that mixture I've added some black so that I can begin placing the overall contour, including the cast shadow. So I'm looking at the height and width relationship, or the proportion. There's no detail here, it's just a loose first impression. And I also mark the line where the plane meets the back of the box to anchor it in space. I'm taking a moment here to check the overall height and width relationships to determine that the proportion is correct, which is important at this stage. I'm also making sure to include the form shadow in this early blocking in stage. Next I mix the lightest light, mostly white, and place it on the areas closest to the light source or facing the light directly. Light falls off as it moves across a form or across a plane, so I add a touch of grey to soften the transition. The goal now is to bridge the gap between the light and the shadow using middle values. These are small incremental shifts, not big jumps. They help the form to feel more round. Along the lower edge of the sphere there is a soft band of bounce light created from the surface below. It's lighter than the core shadow, but still darker than the light side. Just beside it is the darkest part, the core shadow, sometimes called the line of Acrylic, where neither direct nor reflected light reaches. This first pass is about simplifying. I'm not chasing perfection here, I'm just making a clear indication of the overall contour, blocking in the shadows, finding the light and mixing a clear hierarchy of values. We can think of it like setting the foundation. Once everything is roughly in the right place, I can move on to a second pass to refine and bring the form to life. With the second pass, I'm looking to also stretch the value range, so I'm returning to the darker area of the background and pushing that down further with some more black paint. Now returning to the sphere and going back into those lighter areas, again to push the contrast and stretch the value range. So I'm also looking at the cast shadow where there's a difference in value there. So I've begun with one flat value for the first pass, and in the second pass I'm looking for small transitions within that. There's a degree of bounce light coming back into the cast shadow, so you'll see me adding some very small value shifts in there. I'm using a directional stroking motion to soften transitions. I have a rag off screen which I constantly wipe my brush on so that it's clean enough to feather the paint rather than smear it. As the painting develops, whether I'm adding paint or softening transitions, the movements become more sympathetic to the form. So I'm thinking about the flat plane when I'm putting marks on there, and I'm also thinking about the round form of the sphere when I place paint there. And then for the background, it's more vertical strokes to give the sense of an upright surface at the back. might notice here that I shift the panel slightly because I was working from the side. Adjusting the angle lets me see the painting and the subject together. If those aren't properly aligned, distortion can creep in. Exercises like this seem simple, but they train the eye to judge proportion and value confidently, skills that carry into any subject. If you'd like to learn more about the process that I used earlier for checking the height and width proportion, I have a downloadable resource called Drawing Fundamentals, Mastering Proportion. It's a method that I believe you'll find incredibly useful whether you're drawing or painting. The same process applies and allows you to quickly and accurately check and correct your proportions.